Hello there YouTube, this is the Hearshot Kid 93 and this is my first chess lesson video. I'll be working in correspondence with Bry Balanced Chess, who's also on YouTube. Please subscribe to both of our channels for chess videos and tutorials, chess tactics, things like that that will help you improve your game and turn you into a better chess player. What we're going to look at today is one of the more common openings that leads into a less seen response, the Sicilian Dragon variation coming out of the Sicilian Defense coming out of White's e4. Now, e4, one of the most common, if not the most common, opening can give Black a few options. One of the most common, most seen is e5, leading into the Roy Lopez with knight f3 and knight c6, and of course White brings the bishop down. The next most common response is going to be c5, the Sicilian defense, and that's what we are going to be looking at today. After c5, White's knight f3 is going to be the same as if in the Roy Lopez, where Black will continue with mainline Sicilian d6. White will now choose to trade pawns on the d4 square with the knight. Black will now play knight f6, still mainline Sicilian defense, attacking the e4 pawn here, and knight c3 is played to protect this pawn. Now, this next move is the signifying move of the Sicilian Dragon Defense, and that is g6. Black now plans to fianchetto the bishop on g7 and lock up this kingside here. White has one of the most common responses is a response that many people play naturally but don't know the name for, and that is the Yugoslav attack, which will come about after bishop e3 on the 6th move. Black will now fianchetto the bishop, and White will continue with the Yugoslav attack with f3. Now, f3 may not seem like a very important move, but in fact what it does is, should White decide to instead play queen d2, Black can drop the knight and harass this dark squared bishop, which is important for breaking up this fianchetto here, and you're going to want to use this file and use your dark squared bishop a little bit later. So White decides to play f3 instead, and that will stop any pesky knights from swinging down and messing with your bishop. Black will now castle, as he's been intending to since the fianchetto, to lock up the king and really protect this kingside. And White will now be able to make that queen d2 move. Black has a few options. I believe in the Yugoslav attack, you're going to have something black can develop because they're a little bit behind in development on the queen side. At this point, it's pretty much just chess for both sides. Black can choose to put the knight there on d7, which is something that I've seen to protect this knight, and also give a little bit of, make sure that if something were to happen to this knight, should it get traded or something for that dark squared bishop, this knight can swing down and just make sure that they keep a lock on this h7 pawn. As white, what I like to do is break up this fianchetto here with bishop h6. Black has two options. They can take the bishop with their dark squared bishop, allowing the queen to swing up, or they can decide to leave the white squared bishop there and continue on with their development on the queen side. Now, in the King's Indian coming out of d4, you can get a similar position to this, almost exactly, except for that this d4 knight actually is on f3, which can change the game for black by deciding to take this bishop. For now, black taking the bishop, all it does is it kind of, the point of fianchettoing is now lost, and with the queen so close to the king and everything, it's not the best. I mean, it's not terrible for black, but it's not the best best decision in some cases. Should white be able to get a knight to this g5 square, and like I said, as long as this knight remains guarding the h7, you should be alright, but if black makes a mistake somewhere, the checkmate here can be pretty nasty. Should black decide not to take, like I said, they can develop here. White is still going to get rid of that bishop, because that was the point for white. But the king is still guarded, and there's no more checks that the queen can give. And white can now castle queenside, which is a part of the Yugoslav attack. If black plays something like h5 or something like that, you would castle earlier instead of throwing the bishop. But you can castle at this point. Black is going to want to keep developing. White is dominating this these center squares right now, but black has a few options. You can, as white, pretty much just start moving your pieces around, developing. This can be attack this knight. Just put a little pressure because you have it defended. But basically, it's just chess at this point. Once you get out of the main f3 for the Yugoslav attack, and you the idea is to break up this fianchetto here with that move, d2, the queen to d2. That is going to be white's main attacking point, and black is going to want to defend however they see fit, with knights here and things like that. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or video responses, please post them, and subscribe for more chess videos to come. You guys have great chess games, hopefully, and be on the lookout for the next video.